Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Please feel free to write to walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to this video or any other videos that I have posted in the past. If you have any videos that you would like me to make, please let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. There's a Chinese dish known as Char Siu, which really is a barbecue pork. Now, it is a dish very popular in southern part of China, particularly in the Guangdong province, as well as in Hong Kong. When I was growing up, I eat a lot of Char Siu. But personally, I'm not a great fan of Char Siu because I always find the meat a little bit on the dry side. Now, I have not made Char Siu before, particularly in the recent past. However, the other day I decided I'm going to give it a try because I came across this pork on sale. Now, pork is usually is used for making Char Siu, and the cut of pork that is used are frequently known as either pork shoulder or pork butt. Now, this is a piece of pork butt, and the reason I choose this is because it was only 99 cents a pound. Now, originally, it is $3 a pound, and they have a big sale on. So I said, well, I'm going to give it a try. And this piece of pork together, which is about 9 pounds, and it costs less than $10. So this is really a great bargain. Now, one of the reasons that the pork butt or the pork shoulder is used for making Char Siu is because it is highly marbled. As you can see here, it has a lot of fat. Now, you probably wonder what's the difference between pork butt and pork shoulder. Now, this is something that I really do not know about until I decided that I'm going to buy this. Now, when you listen to the hearing the word pork butt, you think of it is the behind of the pig, but it actually is not the case. The pork butt and pork shoulder both refers to the front leg of the pig. And if you look at this diagram, what it shows is that the upper portion is referred to as pork butt, whereas the lower portion is referred to as pork shoulder. Now, one of the significant aspects of both of this cut is they are highly marbled. They have a lot of fat in it. Now, usually people purchase this, they use it either for braising it or sometimes they smoke it. And smoking the pork butt or pork shoulder is extremely popular. Many people will purchase them specifically for that purpose. In this case, the meat is smoked for a long time and to the point that the pieces is going to fall off basically off your fork. Now, however, in the case of this Char Siu, it's very different. The significance about this Char Siu is that you notice that all the fat in the meat, actually that plays an important role because when you cook them, this fat actually will tenderize the meat. Now, in this case, you need to cut it into strips. And the reason is very simple, because by cutting it into strip, you have minimum or you have maximum exposure to the heat. And at the same time, you can coat the meat with a sauce. And the sauce frequently used is referred to as a Char Siu sauce. Now, what is a Char Siu sauce? A Char Siu sauce can be in many different ways. People make it slightly differently. And in here, I'm going to demonstrate to you how I'm going to make my own Char Siu sauce. Now, in order to bake this or roast this, I put them into this rack. And which this rack I originally purchased to make shrimp tempura, but it turned out to work very well for this as well. So what I'm doing here is that I'm making my own Char Siu sauce. Now, you can purchase a Char Siu sauce, but in this case, I'm just going to make it based on how I think it should turn out. So I'm going to use a combination of oyster sauce and hoisin sauce. But further than that, I'm also going to use some barbecue sauce. I'm going to make adjustment to the sauce until I really like the flavor of the sauce. Make sure that it is salty enough and has the level of sweetness that I want. Now, after I do a quick taste test how much I like the sauce, I then use the sauce to brush onto the meat. Now, brushing the meat actually is quite straightforward. Again, as you notice that I cut the meat into strips. This will allow me to have maximum coating of the meat with the sauce. And this Char Siu sauce turned out to be something that even though I have never tried it before, but I'm quite confident that it will turn out well. Now, my wife loves Char Siu, and this is one of her favorite Chinese food. And when she saw me making my own Char Siu sauce, she was a little bit skeptical. She said, "Why didn't you buy the Char Siu sauce made by Lee Kum Kee?" Which obviously I can. But the thing is that I don't have any on hand. And I really do not believe that the Lee Kum Kee Char Siu sauce will be any better than I can come up with. And I know the flavor based on my experience with the hoisin sauce, which will provide sweetness to the sauce. And the oyster sauce will provide the umami flavor. And then last but not the least is the barbecue sauce. And I think the barbecue sauce will give a little bit of tartness as well as some level of spiciness. So when I coat this pork, there are several ways I can do it. One traditionally a lot of recipe call for is that you can coat the pork and then you can store it in the refrigerator for overnight. And the argument is that the sauce will penetrate better into the pork. However, in my case, I don't believe that it actually will make a difference because based on how I understand it, and I think I probably can able to coat it and cook it right away. And besides, my cooking approach, as always, is efficiency. If I can do it efficiently, I will, unless there's specific reasons that convince me by doing it in a more elaborate manner will have significant impact on the flavor of the dish. So I just coated it thoroughly and I'm ready to put it in the oven. Now I have several ideas how to actually cook this. The first thought I have is that I want the inside of the pork to be relatively tender. So I'm going to initially going to bake it at 350 degrees Fahrenheit because at this temperature it will allow the pork to cook relatively slowly, and in this case the inside will not be overcooked. This will give the moist and tender texture I think that I would prefer. So I'm going to cook this for about 35 to 40 minutes. One sign that I know that it is cooked properly is that the fat on the outer surface of the pork now start to char, as you can see in here. This is the wonder of having a meat thermometer, which will allow me to check the temperature inside the meat. And I want the inside of the meat to be a temperature around somewhere between 160 to 170 degrees, because at this temperature, I know the meat will remain to be quite tender. Basically, I want to make sure that the meat is properly cooked. So at this point, I know the meat is all ready and done. So the final step in cooking the pork is that I'm going to take it out from the oven and I'm going to coat it with additional Char Siu sauce, and then I put it back into the oven. But this time I'm going to turn the temperature to 450 degrees. This will causing the surface of the pork to char. As you can see, it only took about somewhere between 10 to 15 minutes and the surface of really well char. The charring of the pork is really important because it provides them a great flavor. And if you find the Char Siu that most people really enjoy, they like the charring portion of the pork. Again, it's just very much up to your personal preference, and some people like it less char and some people like it more char. To me, the best type of Char Siu is that it's moist and tender inside. Like in this case, with a temperature around 168 degrees, but the outside will start to have this charring and provide a nice crispy texture. Okay, now the pork is done, and when I took it out and I slice it up, it looks wonderful. Now, as I mentioned before, I used to not like Char Siu because the inside usually tends to be dry. But now with this method, I'm able to control the temperature inside the pork so I can keep the meat moist and tender. And with the charring on the outside, it tastes really great. And furthermore, on top of that, I'm going to brush the surface of the char siu with some additional of the char siu sauce, and to give it even greater flavor. Well, this char siu turned out to be great. Even if it does not turn out that good, it's still worth it because the pork is only 99 cents a pound. Now, I'd like to mention the second reason that I make this char siu is because I have a friend in Oregon. She mentioned how much she likes char siu, so I thought I would do this for her. Okay, if you like to have char siu, it's very easy to make. Give it a try. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine using the fast cooking system. If you are interested in the cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.